honestly, did you beat the allegations here? I don't think so. Howdy, Meowers. Welcome back to the BlushCat podcast. My name is Fury X-Atron.
Yeah. Fury X-Atron is back.
Hello.
Hi. Why are you here? This is I definitely know we're doing something new today.
Yeah,
so
we're
I'm
doing something new, but I was intrigued. I thought I'd come along.
Okay. That's cool. I didn't really know that was possible, but So, what were you intrigued by, Fury X-Atron, if I may ask?
I was intrigued by the concept of trying to beat the allegations.
Okay. I mean, it is an intriguing concept, defending yourself against the worst that could be said about you. It's, it's going to cause some waves, if nothing else.
Yes, but it's really not going to be like that serious.
It's not that serious at all.
But just a little bit of a disclaimer warning. This episode will probably involve a lot of opinions being shared. There might be some things that you hear one of us say and it's like, ooh, like that's your take on that. Like, that's kind of spicy, or like, I can't believe that you would maybe ever even think that way. If you can't deal with some opinions being shared in a light-hearted, casual manner that have nothing to do, like, with, like, serious, like, it's not against the actual, like, core of the things that we're discussing, exactly. Like, no hate. If you can't tolerate that, maybe this isn't the episode for you. Just a disclaimer.
Valid and true. And like, honestly, I don't even know if mine are going, like the allegations that I've come up with are even going to land. I don't really know if they're even going to be that like much of anything. So we'll just have to see. But I feel like definitely the ones that you're going to give to me probably need that disclaimer. I'm probably gonna end up having some spicier some spicy defenses or something. I don't know.
Yes. So to explain the concept just a little bit more, because you might be a little confused as to what we mean by beating the allegations, but it's gonna be similar to when we played the truth or lie game, or whatever we actually called that episode. I never remember.
Two truths and a lie, maybe? I don't know.
No, it was something else. I don't know. It's also probably going to be a little similar to the secret word game, and we haven't done a debate in this new iteration of the podcast, but I mean, it's kind of like we're having a debate a little bit. And so, yeah, we're just defending ourselves against the accusations, the allegations of whatever the other person might say. And whatever the other person says, they may know about the other person that it is true, or it could just be a lie. And it's like a funny meme like that we often say about each other, or maybe it's just like we're trying not to pull these allegations out of complete thin air, but some of them might just be made up for the episode, or some of them it's like, yes, you try to beat this because I know that you probably do actually feel this way.
Yeah, like if we give an example that's related to something more common, like let's say you have a friend and you know of a certain food that they really like, but that they're always like, no, like it's not my favorite food, but they're like talking about it all the time, and you're like, come on, like that's literally your favorite food, like you're never beating the allegations, every time we go anywhere you only want that food, and then the person's like, no, I don't, it's not my favorite, like, but I do like it. That's one type. Or the other type would be like, you know that your friend doesn't like a certain type of food, but you're like, come on though, we all know you like it, and you're like, no, I actually don't like that, like I'll eat it if it's around, but like I actually don't enjoy that food. And the other people are like, well, okay, but we kind of know, like, I mean, it's not like you're going to turn your nose up at it. And it's like, okay, well, and so you have to try to defend yourself from either of those types of things. Like, it can be totally a lie, or it can be like, we think it's kind of right.
There's also the third type of, I know that you don't like this thing, but you can try to convince me that you do like this thing, but I know that you don't.
Oh my God, I don't think I made any like that.
I feel like I have a lot like that.
Oh no! So I just have to lie.
But
okay.
We're going to try to keep the episode on the shorter side once again. So we plan to do around 5, but who knows?
Yeah, we have no clue. We can't tell how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
So we'll just do however many make sense to fit, and we can save others for another time if we have others and people like it and we had fun.
Yes. So, would you like me to try to beat an allegation first?
Sure. I really have no clue which one to start with. I really don't know which of mine are going to be good and which ones aren't. So I'm just going to start with, I tried not to pick the most basic classic allegations that I'm always bringing to the table anyway during the podcast. I tried not to go that basic, but like this one is pretty basic probably. We'll start classically with Plave because that is our print nowadays. The allegation is that Yejun and Bambi are your Plave biases.
Okay. All right.
Oh, wait. So should I do do I like present some like...
Yeah, tell me why you think that.
Okay. So it's not like I have like evidence, I just will speak from my heart. We all know about Yejun, right? We got that part. But Bambi, this is the point of contention. You're always talking about how it's Hamin, it's not Bambi. But then, who's always coming out of your mouth in every conversation? Bambi this and Bambi that. Oh, Bambi's vocals are so fantastic, so underrated. Nobody appreciates him. Oh, Bambi's dance covers. Never seen Bambi do a dance that I didn't like. Bambi. Watch this clip. It's Bambi. So, you tell me.
Okay, well, I would like to first point out that maybe Bambi's name is just fun to say.
Okay.
And okay. First of all, I would like to make my first point. What is my favorite Plave line? Yay line. So how could Hamin not be in my bias line? Correct?
Incorrect. I recently asked you if every bias and like second favorite person that you have are your favorite duo. And you said, no, not all the time.
It doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. But Hamin is on my photo card that I have right now.
You've got photo cards of unbiases.
Hamin, I don't need to spread the agenda with Hamin as much because you claim that he is in your bias line.
My bias.
And so, right. Maybe we'll get to that.
Oh my God.
And so, it's like, you get it. I don't need to always like say every Hamin related thing that there is, because if he is truly your bias, you should know it all already. So why would I be like, look at this Hamin cover, look at this Hamin challenge? You should have already consumed it all.
But is everything that you're saying for my benefit? If you like these people as much as you do, you shouldn't be able to stop talking about them when it comes to the group.
Maybe I talk about Hamin to somebody else.
Okay, maybe you do.
Okay, let's take a look at the type of person Hamin is.
Oh, okay.
He is the exact type of person that is similar to all my other biases.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
He's a main dancer.
I thought you were going to say he's a man. I'm like, okay. What? A main dancer. Yeah, who else is a main dancer? Thank you for proving my point. Bambi.
Anyway, sweats nervously. Well, anyway,
Like, I would
just
argue
look at all
who
my
is
other biases and compare them, and they're similar. Okay.
Yeah, I would arguably say who is more similar. Bambi. I rest my case.
All right. Well, I don't know how long I'm supposed to keep trying to defend myself here.
Well, if you like, if you pledge your case and you're like, that's like what I could give you, then we sort of, I think we end it.
Okay, I think we should just end it.
Okay. Well, I'd say that cuz like the people in the comments can try and weigh in, but like it might be a little tough because like you don't know us as well, as we know each other. But you can still try and see if the arguments were sound, right? But what I'd say, like my judgment, I'm now not the prosecutor, I am the judge. My judgment would be that like that was kind of a bit of a weak argument. So I would say
I can't help how I feel about Bambi. Everyone in Plave is just so good, though.
I would say you're not really beating the allegations, but at the same time, like in more seriousness, not like for the game. Like I do trust. Like I think you're a pretty trustworthy person, and so like I don't actually think that it's Bambi. Like I do think it's Haman if you say it's Haman, but I'd say like the joking allegation. I'd say it still stands after that.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I agree that it definitely sounds incriminating. I was going to bring up the fact that I said at some point to you that I tend to consider, like, my bias, and then, like, my bias wrecker will be the person that likes my bias the most or shows my bias the most support or is, like, the biggest fan of my bias. And just in the content yesterday, it's like, oh, Haman is the Asian's fan, but I mean, Bambi's a big Asian fan too. So I mean, you can't really argue. Like you could say that about Bambi.
Okay. Yeah, no, that is a really good like factor to come into play when you have your top favorite and the second favorite.
Yeah. Okay. So you have, brought the Plave topic up already. So I guess it's not, I mean, like I could do this, but it's not the most exciting thing to just do like a similar, like exact match right back to back. So I'll stick on the topic of Plave because I do have more than one allegation that I'd like you to beat regarding Plave.
Oh, wow.
So you try to beat the allegation that Plave is taking over your life.
Well, okay.
Well, okay, you have to hear my reasoning first.
Oh, right.
So my first point, and probably the biggest point, is the amount of times you've said you've rewatched the Dingo Killing Voice and the Bambi Haman live clip and just like any Plave clip ever. You're like, yeah, so I watched that again. And it's like nobody can count how many times you've said that at this point. And, you are saying you still like other groups, but really it's like if you're gonna have the chance to talk about Plave, you're gonna talk about them instead. If somebody asks if you want to watch content A or content B, and content B is Plave content, you'd be picking Plave right away. It's like, you'd kind of ditch all the other groups for Plave. And yeah, it's probably like you think, well, if Plave is fulfilling every role, why would I need to stand any other group?
Okay. So the original point that I was gonna come to the table with was because you said they're taking over my life, and I was gonna bring up something else that takes up a good bit of my time, but it's not K-pop related. To be like, well, no, I have to do this too. Like, this is another thing. And so it's not just Plave. Blueprints I was going to bring up. Because, like, I have to it's like a whole full investigation that you have to do with blueprints and all the notes and everything. So I mean, there's that, and
But have you thought, I'd really like to see Plave play that game? Probably.
I haven't thought that.
Well, do you want to? Probably.
I mean, it would be good probably, but the amount of stuff that they could get done and the amount of time they'd be playing it probably would be pretty inconsequential. So, okay. No, I watch tons of other K-pop because we do episodes on things besides Plave. Like I literally see all of the relevant comebacks every month, and you know, I watched Monsta X's new music video, and I've watched NCT
Seems like you're really
Dream.
struggling to think of anything outside of Plave.
No, that's not it. I just am a slow thinker.
Yeah, sure.
I really just feel like Plave, you know, they're all right, and like they just have a lot of content. And so what do you do when it's like the other groups you've already watched all of their content, but like there's a new group that you haven't seen the content from yet, like all of it, and there's so much. So of course I will be watching a lot of Plave content until I've seen it all. And in regards to the stuff that I've been re-watching, you know, it's not personal. Like, you say this is about Plave, but maybe, just maybe, it's about quality content. Did you ever think maybe I'm obsessed with dingo content? It is a dingo killing voice after all. And what is another thing I've been rewatching, you might ask? Well, it's the Plave Island song. And you're like, that's Plave again. But no, I'm not watching the Plave release. I'm watching the dingo version. So maybe it's that. You ever think of that?
Well, do you watch any other groups killing voices multiple times? Have you seen the ITZY one a lot? You say you like ITZY.
I have seen the ITZY one, but let me bring it back to, like I said, quality content. What I mean here is that it just so happens that it's Plave every time. But in reality, I just like to rewatch quality content. Would you say that the Plave killing voice is not quality content?
I would not. I love it. It's great.
Okay.
It's perfect.
Would you say that the Bambi Hamen live clips are not quality content?
No, it was a good time.
Well,
However,
so I like to rewatch quality content. The Hamen Ray reel, what is that? It's an IVE reel or short, whatever. It's a short. It's an IVE short, okay? That's not even about Plave. Plave just happens to be there. It's quality content.
But you said it's like you ran out of content for the other groups that you like. However, you're always saying, oh, I've barely seen any Blitzers content. Oh, doesn't this group ever release content? Like, oh yeah, they have new content, but ooh, look, Plave has new content too. Gonna have to watch the Plave content, and then the other groups get put on the back burner.
No, I have the perfect defense for this. When do I watch this type of content? I watch it with you. Okay? And you've already seen all the Blitzers content and every other group out there. What have you not seen? Plave. And so we have something that we can watch because you don't want to rewatch stuff that you've already seen.
Well, I think that
I rest my case.
Honestly, did you beat the allegations here? I don't think so. But
it's
is
a hard
that
allegation
valid?
to beat.
Yeah, I think it's valid that you didn't beat them because, yeah, it's a hard allegation to beat.
I don't want to beat it. I mean, it's true.
I mean,
I confess, it's true.
All right.
But
I mean, we've done 3 parts of the Plave episode. Part 4 is coming soon, so it's like I think think it's kind of speaking for both of us.
Yeah, I mean, they said they would take over, and they have.
Yeah.
Like, sure, I truly haven't forgotten about the other groups that I like, but like it is tough, like especially when it's like they don't ever have any comebacks. Like all of the groups that I really like when is the last time they did anything? So like what am I supposed to do?
DKZ, actually, Sehyeon and Giseok just made a short today, and it's really funny.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna have to check that out. Okay. I'll give you another one. This one is gonna be maybe a little sillier.
Okay.
My allegation for you is that you actually like the country/cowboy hat aesthetic in K-pop.
Why would you say that?
You ever heard of a Yoon Sana?
Yes, and I discussed how I feel about that in our episode.
We've all heard you talk about T by T.
Mm-hmm.
How about a little known group, Faramis 9?
Yes.
I could go on and on, but I don't think that I need to. Basically, the point here is, when have you really ever been that mad about it? You know? You heard of a little thing called Monsta X Rush Hour? I feel like you've heard and listened to that one many more times than I have.
Yes, that's true. However, just because I like those groups and listen to the songs that
Like
feature...
Monsta X? Maybe we'll get to that later.
Wow. Everybody listening, don't get confused. Just because I listen to those groups and I listen to the songs that utilize that aesthetic does not mean I like the aesthetic. And I always talk about that if we're talking about their comeback and it has the cowboy aesthetic. We know this. Everybody knows this. Why would I be lying that many times?
It's never turned you away.
I have, because I like the groups and I like the songs, and just because I see a pair of cowboy boots or a cowboy hat or they're in a desert, it doesn't mean I'm going to be like avoiding the entire comeback. It's just a personal preference. I don't like it. And actually, you know what? If you're referring to Blue Hour by T by T,
that's one of them.
I never watch the dance break part. I always turn the song, or like I turn the video off before they put the hats on. And, you know, you might be thinking, when they do the dance break, that's not even like super cowboy. But I don't really watch many stages of that performance, like of that song either. I like to watch like the one performance where they don't have cowboy hats and they're wearing like fuzzy sweaters. And Faramis 9 has barely had that aesthetic. Like, just recently they used it a little bit. So that's not really even valid.
A little bit. The cow print, you know, they were going all out. What do you mean a little bit?
Well,
horses.
Yeah, but I also said just recently how...
You've watched Horseland. Admit it.
Okay, all right, fine. I watched Horseland, but you know what else I watched? To Grandmother's House We Go. And I did not find any joy or take any pleasure in Eddie and his whole cowboy thing. I did not like that.
But it didn't turn you away.
I don't like country music. I don't
How
like
many
cowboy
country songs
aesthetic.
have you written?
This is not even relevant. I don't need to say anymore. The real Meowers know.
So do you rest your case?
I rest my case.
Okay. Once again, I'll say in seriousness and not the joking gameness, I do know how much you dislike it. And in judge mode, I'd say you presented a fairly decent case, because while you have consumed all of that content. You always only ever consumed it with saying you didn't like it. It's like always come with a disclaimer. So, that one was just a little bit like, let's see if we can get her to defend something that or if she can deny something that like she's taken in a lot of the content of. So yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good job.
Okay, thank you. Devin, I would like you to beat the allegations that you wouldn't even like K-pop if you could understand all of the lyrics.
Okay.
My points being that, ATEEZ, their recent song, you talked about not even really liking the English version of their recent song, but you do like the Korean version. That point is like, I really only need that point, don't I? Because it's the same exact song. It's just one is in Korean and one is in English, so you can understand the English one. You think that so many of the rap sections that have English are bad, but you would probably think that about the Korean ones too. You just can't understand that. And generally, you don't even pay attention to the lyrics that much in songs, I want to say, when it's a K-pop song, because that like probably just means that the ones that you can understand, you're like, oh, that's kind of boring, so I'm going to tune it out. But you're always singing lyrics to English songs, and you're like knowing full rap sections of like Linkin Park songs and Phineas and Ferb songs and like the Pokemon songs, and so everything else you're always singing. But with K-pop, it's kind of just like yeah, like you pay attention to the beat, but it's probably because you don't understand the lyrics, and so it's like, you don't like that part of it.
Okay, so first of all, the Linkin Park thing is someone else knows the Linkin Park rap, and I know it because they always would sing it. Okay, so I only know it through osmosis.
Well, you still know it.
Okay. And as for Phineas and Ferb, I will not stand for this. Phineas and Ferb slander? I don't think so.
Well,
Everyone,
it's not slander.
no, everyone should be knowing those songs and lyrics. Like, that's iconic. That is part of our national history. I don't need to defend myself against knowing those lyrics. Those should be in everyone's hearts. As for the K-pop, how do I put this? I don't have to defend myself against multiple cases at once, right? So I'm going to bring up evidence A. What do you call it? Exhibit A. Plave Island. Full English song. Do I love it? How much have I talked about Plave Island just in the past week?
You've talked about it a lot.
I've talked about it a lot. It is a full English song. I have sung some of it. And so that's case 1, or exhibit A. Full English song. Talked about it a lot. Love it.
I would maybe argue that isn't even exactly a K-pop song. Like, it doesn't have the elements of a truly classic K-pop song. It's a ballad. It's like a soft and gentle ballad.
There are
it's
ballads
all in
K-pop.
English. Yeah, but if I wanted to be that guy.
You don't want to be that. Plave has not gone that route yet. So I would say it's a little tougher to call them, like, to say that about it, rather than a group that has pivoted so much to being like not K-pop. But we'll take it into consideration, and by we I mean you, because you're the judge. You're gonna take your own points into consideration. Okay, exhibit B. T by T, cat and dog. Which version do I like better? The English version. You might be wondering why. Well, there's a more of a comedic element when you can understand the lyrics. And what do I love in songs and lyrics? Let's bring it back to Phineas and Ferb. Comedic, or Pokemon, comedic elements in songs. So I will say once again, there's another example of a full English song, clearly K-pop, because there's a Korean version that is the original version, and I like the English version better. Dynamite by BTS. Butter by BTS. Those are English songs, and I like them.
Yes, but you're really only focusing on K-pop songs that are all in English. But what I'm trying to say is, if you could understand the lyrics of the songs that are in Korean that maybe just have a few English lines, the songs that you know and love, you would like them less because you would think that some of the lyrics are kind of dumb.
I understand. I understand. I like the K-pop groups that I like the most are the ones that have the best lyrics. You always talk about how good the lyrics are, so I wouldn't dislike them because they would be good, and I understand plenty. There are lots of words that I know in Korean. Lots.
That's true. However, if you look at other pop artists that are not K-pop, you probably don't like any of them because you're like, yeah, like, listen to the lyrics of that song. Like,
because it's disgusting.
I don't care what they're singing about. but it's like, so wouldn't you just kind of feel like K-pop was pop and you'd feel the same way that you feel about pop?
No, I've talked about this before. K-pop songs, not inherently, but on average, have better like topic points than like all Western music is like literally only about like one or two things. But in K-pop, there's like the amount of songs that they have that are literally like about an item, like bubbles, you know? Like shoes. Yeah, like, you know, there's symbolism and there's imagery and there's metaphors and all that kind of stuff. But it's like the lyrics are just on average better and like about a wide variety of things, topics, feelings, experiences, everything. And like, I don't like any of the garbage trash that I can understand in English songs because it's all the exact same topic, clubbing or a breakup.
Okay, do you rest your case?
I rest my case.
Okay. I think you beat the allegations.
Yes.
Because, I mean, it's hard to like disagree with the points that you're making. And I know, like, pretty much all of mine, like, you know, they're not even that serious anyway. So it's like, we have a K-pop podcast. Would we really feel that way? Like, the K-pop is transcending the language boundaries. I think all of us that like K-pop know that. Like, it can do that. Like, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, the groups that you like have good lyrics.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you beat the allegations.
Thank you. And yeah, like, I usually know to a degree what the song is about. Like, I'll read the lyrics if I'm curious. And you know, you're saying it's not that serious and blah, blah, blah. Well, I mean, it is not that serious. But you keep throwing ones at me that I'm like, you know what, I wouldn't be upset to really kind of agree with that a little bit. Like, I do prefer to not be able to understand what they're saying as I'm listening. I do. Because it does help if they're saying something that I wouldn't want to be, like, that would ruin the vibe of the song. Like, sometimes they say something in English and I'm like, that was kind of cheesy, like, but I was thinking that this song was like cool sounding, but then they went and said that and it's cheesy. But if it was in Korean and I hadn't understood it, I wouldn't have known that. Like, that is an element, but I don't think that switching everything to like me being able to understand every bit of it would make it equal to like pop music. So I realized I didn't really even have any written down in a particular vein that you keep throwing at me. But so I'm just going to throw one at you that is that way, just because I feel like you should have to defend yourself in that manner as well. So like this one's going to be kind of more basic because I just thought of it on the fly. But I was like, why didn't I write any like that are like that? I mean, I don't know if it's as much like that, but I'll try. Okay, your allegation is that Anton is your top K-pop idol across the board, like favorite idol ever.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Strong allegation. And I disagree because that's impossible.
She's not beating the allegation.
It's impossible because Rise,
you got a bad back. Is that why?
Rise is such a new group still.
Oh, come on.
And so there's no way that I could even like say that about like a group that has been around for such a short amount of time, and I didn't even stan at debut, so I've had even less time to watch Anton content. And
you ever heard of Love at First Sight?
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
We're not that
kind of fans.
There are still so many other idols that I would consider at such a high level of like biasability that I don't think I could just point to one and
She's
be
making up
like
words now.
and be like, yeah, it's Anton.
So who are the other ones then?
Yujin from IVE. Like, how could you literally even disregard her existence like that so blatantly?
Whoa. Okay, how many times?
And you think, okay, wait a minute. You think just because Yenon is technically probably not in Pentagon or even active as a K-pop idol anymore, that I would just throw away his whole history as an idol? Like you said, of all time, like in history, like that would mean just forgetting.
Well,
forgetting?
No, I don't.
You want me to forget Yenon?
Want? This is what you have displayed to me. This is not my wish for you, ma'am. This is not my wish for you, Miss X-Atron.
Excuse me, eliminating Fury?
I'm calling you by your last name, X-Atron. So this is not what I want. This is what you have shown me. And by all time, I do mean like currently though. Like I don't mean that you might have liked Yenon more at one point, but right now, like your top favorite all-time bias is Anton. That is the allegation.
I'll try to make sense of that.
So yeah, I mean, I want to know who you are claiming to like more than Anton. When, I mean, who do I hear about? Who do I see pictures and reels being shared of, you know, tidbits of stories from? It's not I can only remember Yejun's name. What did you just said her name? Yujin. It's not Yujin from IVE, I can tell you that much, and it's certainly not Yenon.
You might think it's Bambi then. Like, why don't you say it's Bambi? You were just telling me that I'm always talking about Bambi and I'm always showing you clips of Bambi. So wouldn't that mean that it could be Bambi?
It's not Bambi. It's
Why?
Anton. Because there are more fan cam viewings of Anton by far, ma'am.
Who has
Miss
more
X-Atron.
fan cams?
Hey, you rewatch, Miss X-Atron. You rewatch.
Stop calling me that. See, you might be thinking that I'm not going to beat the allegations because I'm not having much to say, and sure, valid, but like I don't know how to defend myself against this, but like it doesn't make it true.
What would be one of the biggest signs of top standing. I would argue, Miss X-Atron,
Oh my gosh.
that it
Blatant
is
disrespect.
watching fan cams. This is the way to see content of the sole person. You know, you're watching Plave content, it's got Bambi in it. You're watching Rise content, but you're also watching Anton fan cams. Yes, I'm calling you out publicly for the world to know. Watching Anton fan cams, you're seeing Anton and only Anton. You know, that is there for you to watch one specific person. It's a fan cam. That's its point. And
But do you know how many fan cams I have seen? I've watched Wanbin fan cams plenty of times. I've watched Hello Eugen fan cams plenty of times. I've watched fan cams from people of like all groups. I like to watch fan cams.
Exactly.
I've watched fan cams of. What do you mean exactly?
You are a fan cam watcher, we all know this, but you watch the most of Anton.
I simply don't even think that's true. I just
true,
actually
ma'am.
literally don't even think that that's true.
Just the amount of Anton fan cams that I have seen proves how many, like, you must have seen, because every one that I've seen, you've seen. Like, every time that I've seen an Anton fan cam, you have also seen it. So then if we add on all the times that you've seen them and I haven't also been watching, it just goes, like, I've probably seen the most Anton fan cams as well, but I don't watch fan cams except for when you're watching them.
What about NCT Dream members?
That's just per birthday. That's on a birthday basis.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's
on a birthday or a new concert happened basis, which they're NCT Dream. They're constantly touring.
Well, exactly. So then that means that I'm watching fan cams all the time.
But I'm saying the reasoning is less deliberate seeking out of specific members as it is with Anton. What should I watch right now? An Anton fan cam.
I don't know. I don't know, guys. I give up. This is just not it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say that you're not beating the allegations. I mean, you did say you give up. And that was my attempt at giving you an allegation that I felt like you would have a hard time denying. I don't know how accurate I was, but like you keep giving those to me. Like you're giving me allegations that I'm like, well, I kind of like, I wouldn't really disagree. So.
I mean, I don't think that I would agree.
But that's just because you don't pick favorites, is it?
Kind of. Like, I mean, I'd say that there's too many people that could hold that spot.
Yeah. But it's like you don't have a good argument for not liking Anton or for liking someone else more.
Right. That's true.
Okay. Well, then that was my goal.
I mean, I could argue liking other people more, I guess, but I just didn't because I don't know how.
Oh.
Because it's like, how do you prove that? Like, I don't know.
Just whatever. You just say whatever until you convince the other person.
I don't know. I don't know.
She doesn't watch that many Anton fan cams, guys, okay? Like, it's not an obsession.
Yeah.
It's just when there's a comeback, watch the fan cams, I guess.
Alrighty, well, it's your turn once again to try and beat the allegation. So I would like you to beat the allegation that TIOT Moonrise isn't your favorite K-pop music video.
Okay, that's a funny little cute one. Because just because you love something and hold it near and dear to your heart and want everybody else to respect it and feel the same way about it, and you want it to get recognition for what it has done, doesn't mean it's your favorite.
Sure sounds like it is.
Because if I were to do a breakdown of that music video and then of other music videos that I also really like, it would have like all of the points that the other ones have, but other ones could also have a few more points. Like, for instance, Moonrise is not exactly my favorite genre of music. It's not necessarily my favorite aesthetic. And also, I'm so sorry, TIOT, but they're not my favorite group. Like, I don't know the group. So I could bring you a music video to the table that is giving many of the same things that the TIOT Moonrise music video gives, but then it is also like my favorite aesthetic, or it's also my favorite sound, or it's also my favorite group. So, I'm not going to say that I don't really like the music video. It's more so that it's like it deserves respect and recognition, because I don't feel like it necessarily is getting that from a lot of the people that I interact with. So, yeah.
Well, you say that they're like, not like TIOT, we know you don't even keep up with them as a group that much, but they have that sort of underdog vibe right now, which you're always rooting for. So doesn't that boost them a little bit? And, you're always talking about this music video. Every chance you have, you're bringing up TIOT Moonrise. It was one of your favorites last year. Like what you said at the beginning about how like sweet it is and stuff. What other videos do you say that about that often? I can't think of any.
Well, you didn't say that is or isn't my favorite sweetest music video, like you said music video in general. So what types of things do people like to talk about? And do they like to bring up? Pleasant things, like things with pleasant feelings and pleasant emotional reactions. So of course it's going to be brought up more often because it's pleasant emotions. Whereas you might also think that something is so good, so incredible, like take I've Either Way, for example. But that one, that one's gonna kind of make you cry. And so you might not always be like jumping in to be like, oh yeah, and also remember this one, because people sometimes, they're not as eager to bring up and remember ones with more negative emotions, even though it's really good and you really like it.
But, if it's a positive emotion and you're saying you want to bring up those ones more often, wouldn't that mean that it's higher to the top?
No, it can be.
Well, what would your favorite one be?
Well, I can't pick a favorite right off the bat, but like there are lots of good ones. There are lots of favorites. Like Dash by Plav comes to the forefront of my mind. And
is it better than Moonrise?
Like you have to forget the fact that I have already finished pleading my cases for the previous cases once again when I say that I'm bringing up Dash by Plav. Is it better than Moonrise? Yes, I would say it's better than Moonrise. Moonrise, it just has a very strong emotional reaction and it was done very well for what it is. But I would say there are more complexities to some other music videos. So like it's more, you know how you feel about Key Bad Love? Mm-hmm. You could write a whole essay on it, so you're like, it's really like if you break
not
it
the cowboy
down,
aesthetic again.
Well, there we go. If we break it down, like you're like this point, make this music video top tier. I wouldn't really say that there are that many points to the Moonrise music video. There are definitely more points for other ones in that regard. It's just simply a strong emotional reaction that is pleasant feelings, and that was all executed very well. But when you get down to it at the baseline, it's not like it's a music video that's filled with a whole bunch of complexities.
But can't you enjoy something and consider it your favorite even without that?
I can enjoy it, but I'm not considering it my favorite. I would pick something else.
Okay.
I would pick something with more complexities.
Okay.
Like Plav Dash, for example, is a good one. Just not to bring it to mind again, but Plav Dash, Pentagon Daisy, I've Ascendio, those are all, really good, and like I feel like they were doing something different. Like TIOT Moonrise is just so cherishable. You can't deny it. But I would rate something else a little bit higher for doing something more complex.
Okay.
I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point, ma'am.
All right. So I'll say, yeah, I like guess you beat the allegations, but similar to the allegation you just gave me, it's kind of hard to concretely like show that it's not like that it's not your favorite, you know? Like
Yes.
so
Like,
I'll say you beat it, but
I don't have, like, you know, in my back pocket my favorite music video.
right.
So yeah, I get what you're saying too. It's like, how do you defend against, like, the best defense would be to prove you like something else way more.
Right.
But
when you don't know what that is, it's hard to prove it.
yeah, I'm like, I can like kind of prove a couple, and then like I could plead my case for those, but also I think my best case is that you're gonna hear me talk highly about it because of the type of emotion that is attached to it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm choosing it as my favorite, I guess. But I don't know, some people would be like, well, I'm just gonna take what I hear, and it sounds like you really like it, so okay, your next allegation is, please beat the allegation that your favorite Gravity song is My Turn.
Okay. All right. This is maybe going to be similar to the other ones. Like, it's hard to say, well, my favorite Gravity song is this. But My Turn is great. Everybody who's anybody knows that. But, you know, it's kind of great because it's a little bit silly. And I'm not the type of person that's going to be, like, this is very similar to what, like, you were just saying with the music videos. Like, I'm not going to be the type of person who, like, will pick as their number one favorite thing from somebody as a silly option. I care more about the emotional weight of something. And I want it to make me feel something. Gravity My Turn makes me feel like I'm having a good time and like I'm listening to a bop, but it's not making me like cry or scream or like, I don't know, like it's a bop, and I like it kind of ironically because it's like, what's even happening? Like, it's like vroom 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 vroom, like skirt, like, you know, like it's a little bit of like a meme, but it like turned into more of an iconic song because it's like kind of silly. And but you know, like, and I'm never even somebody who prefers like tougher, more aggressive,
Really?
that kind
Fury
of
X-Atron.
style.
That's not your style?
No. Everybody knows that if I were to say something is my favorite, it's way more likely that it's going to be something either bright and fun or like soft and lovely or anything like the opposite of what My Turn is stylistically.
Okay, Miss X-Atron, I would be interested in wondering how you feel about the allegation that perhaps you have said in the past, I don't know the exact quote, but something along the lines of how, like, everyone should be singing along to Gravity My Turn. Like, I believe there's a certain part in Gravity My Turn that you feel as if it's very important that people do not sing along, like
just because you're bringing up the fact that it literally was me, Fury X-Atron, who did say that it's a red flag if you don't sing along to Gravity My Turn, does not mean that it's my favorite Gravity song. I would say that I like I want to say half of Gravity's discography I like more than My Turn, but I don't know if that's too bold of a statement because like My Turn is really good and enjoyable, but like Cloud 9, underdog. Like their whole latest album, I probably like sound-wise more than I like the sound of My Turn. The Evershine album, all of their more recent title tracks.
All that I've heard so far from you is it's a red flag if you don't sing along to My Turn. My Turn is iconic. My Turn makes me feel happy and energized. Must I go on?
You're disregarding all the other words that I said.
The words that you said that were meaningless words, because all you said was, I like the rest of their discography, but you didn't say any positive things about those. You didn't say, it's a red flag if you don't sing along to those songs.
I do think it's a red flag if you don't sing along to those songs. If you're not singing and dancing along to Love or Die by Gravity, then you're not doing it right. You're just not. I mean, Adrenaline? You know how everybody feels about Adrenaline.
I would argue that you like My Turn more than Adrenaline.
You know what? I don't know if that's a controversial take. Like, it definitely is. I know like everybody loves Adrenaline, but like...
I do not think that one is helping your case.
I don't know. It's not. Everybody knows that it's not my favorite Gravity song.
So do you rest your case?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna say that, like, maybe if you had argued it a little further, you were, like, starting to possibly beat the allegation when you brought up Love or Die. Like, if you had tried to sell to me your love for Love or Die, I would have been like, now that is a good one to bring up. Like, I do feel like you also are very passionate about that song. But anything else was kind of a blanket statement. You know, like, I like other ones more. And it's like, well, I know how much you like My Turn. Tell me how much you like something else. And then you would have won me over. So I'd say that was like a half. You know?
Okay.
Like, you convinced me to start doubting.
Okay.
But in reality, I'm pretty sure that I know and understand that is not your favorite Gravity song.
Okay. Well, your last allegation, sorry everybody, we only have time to do 4 each today, but I would like you to beat the allegation, and I'm going to bring it back around to the beginning here. I teased this one a little bit, and sorry to make it about Plave again, but if you have a problem with that, anybody listening, like, that's on you.
Good luck.
Like, I mean, yeah, like, I don't know how you're listening to this podcast. Like, even we talk about Plave so much. If you have a problem with it, then you're just gonna have to stop listening, I guess. But anyway, be the allegation that Noah is in your Plave bias line. Haman is not.
Okay, so it seems like we have a bit of an issue here between both of us thinking that we like Haman more than the other person. Because we're both like, Haman is in my bias line, not yours.
I would reason that Noah is in your bias line. I'm not necessarily saying that I think he's your bias. Like, Eunho could be your bias, but... But Noah is in the line because, one, he's just like you. So how could he not be in your bias line? Like, Eunho is just like you, and that's one of the reasons that he is in your bias line. But Noah is way more similar to you than Haman is. So shouldn't that make him one of the top 2? Noah is also similar to Shonu, because he loves working out. Can't deny that. Cannot deny that.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
And similar to why I reasoned that Haman is in my bias line, I will use it against you in the fact that he is not the type of person that I feel like you usually bias at all. Like, sure, he is the comedian, but like all of Plave is. So is that really even a valid point and reason as to why he would be your bias? I don't think so.
Okay. First of all, this was not the allegation that I was expecting, for one. For 2, if I biased every like workout obsessed member of a K-pop group, I would not be biasing Shonu and Monsta X. I would be biasing Wonho. And yes, I'm bringing up Wonho, even though he's not I don't know why I keep calling him Wonho. He's not a member of Monsta X anymore, but I feel like anyone who's a true
Wow,
Mombabe would
ouch.
still count him as their bias if they were to be like, you know, oh, who is my Monsta X bias? I feel like you would still count him, possibly. And I didn't bias him. So just because I biased Tony and he also loves working out,
See?
I didn't bias him when he's
Yeah.
hey, when I started biasing Tony, he did not work out that much.
But he did work out.
I think since COVID, and it never stopped or something. Like no, since Pentagon doesn't do anything anymore, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Noah,
She's stalling. She's buying time.
Noah, like this is one of those allegations that you like to throw at me that is really coming from nowhere.
Noah, nowhere. She can't even keep his name out of her mouth.
Like, you do this with groups sometimes where you latch onto a person that you think I like, but I am literally, like, to me, that person, like, has no relevancy. I'm so sorry, Noah. I'm so sorry.
Delete the podcast. Cancel it. I'm done.
But, like, all I'm saying is I usually can very clearly tell, like, you're a switcheroo person, you know? You're like, oh, I think this person's my bias. Oh, this person's my bias right now. Oh, I don't know, but I really like this person and this person. I usually am just like, no, I know. It's this person, it's this person. So in that regard, I'd say Noah has no relevancy because I think all of the Plave members are fantastic. That's what makes Plave so great, is that they don't have any bad members. So trust me, I think Noah's great. But in terms of who I'm picking as my bias, he's not someone I'm considering. Because I already know. I know who it is. It's Hamin and Eunho.
But why?
Okay, yeah. So we already understand Eunho. We're on the same page about him.
Yes.
Because you're conceding that I can have him in my bias line. Thank you. And yeah, you know, he is similar to me. He's similar to me. He's funny. I've talked about his endearing qualities in the past. I also talked about how much of his vocal tones I like. So there's things like that. Hamin, you're saying, well, he's not really like you, and Noah's like you, and that's a factor that you're taking into consideration for Eunho. But what about all of the other factors that I'm taking into consideration for Eunho? About the funniness and the endearingness and the vocal tones. Those are all things I would say for Hamin. And in addition, I think Hamin is kind of like me. Maybe not in the way that he sort of expresses his personality, but I think in his thought processes, he's kind of like me. I've always kind of thought he's kind of a T type. And maybe like a T type that doesn't necessarily talk super like a T personality type, but kind of thinks like a T personality type. I think that's kind of like me. And in addition, sometimes I bias the people that I feel like are like me a lot because I have a lot of self-confidence and self-appreciation. And so I like my qualities, and so I like those qualities in other people as well. But other times, I bias people that are not like me at all. If you remember, my first original bias of all of K-pop, do you know who that was? V, exactly. Is V like me? I would say not at all. And he was the first person that I ever biased in K-pop. Not like me at all. So I don't think that my biases have to be like me. It's just that it turns out that way a lot of the times, because those are qualities, like the qualities that I have, I do like.
I mean, I'm hearing a lot about other people and not a lot about Hamin.
Basically, I have never seen or heard Hamin acting or doing anything that I didn't like, that I didn't enjoy, that I didn't agree with, that I didn't vibe with, you know? Like, he's just, everything that he's doing and the way that he's doing things is likable, is enjoyable, is fun. And like Noah, sometimes with Noah, I'm kind of like, you know, like, because at times, yeah, it is like me. It's like, yeah, I guess I would be like that as well, or I would say that kind of thing as well. But other times I'm kind of like, Noah, I don't know, like, I don't appreciate that vibe from you. It's giving Jong'on from 17 in the sense of like when he likes to just really, really, really cheat at all the games and play really unfairly. And I'm like not gonna hate him for it, but at the same time I'm like, ooh, like that type of play style I don't vibe with. Sometimes Noah gets to a degree where I'm like, ooh, like, you know, I wouldn't want to do it that way. So he's less like, he shouldn't even be someone you're thinking that I would bias, because he'll do that kind of thing sometimes where I'm like, oh, Noah's at it again, you know? But I don't ever, like, nothing that Haman does is ever upsetting in that way to me. And once again, Noah is fantastic, and I love the dynamic that he adds to the group, and I love his vocal tones as well. And okay, but I see the point is not to plead my case for Noah, because but I think it's a very important note that Noah sometimes does things where I'm like, you know, if I were picking my favorite person would not have chosen to like play the game that way or something like that.
All right, is that all?
Yes, I rest my case.
Okay. I'm a little on the fence, honestly. I will say that you beat the allegations, but also I kind of want to keep joking that Noah is or should be in your bias line.
I mean, you're gonna keep joking. Like when you pick one of those, I feel like you never ever stop. Even though like I never talk about that person ever.
Yeah, but like when like you say that Noah lacks relevancy, that's kind of like an oof. How could you ever say that about somebody who is your bias? Even if it's like a joke or like not in the way that it sounds like you're saying it in.
Yeah, I mean, please do not take it out of the context. I meant lacks relevancy in the context of considering as my bias, not lacks relevancy in Plave.
Right.
Every Plave member is extremely relevant.
Extremely relevant. But also you bringing up that your original bias was V was a really good point. Ooh, and yes. Really like you know, helped you to beat the allegations because I don't really question that he's your bias. Like I think that is valid and like sure, like I accept that and I think it fits. And so yeah, like Haman's thought process, that whole thing, like bringing that into the picture was a really good move as well. So I'm seeing it. It's just that I think you're biasing him in like...
You think I'm clout chase biasing?
Well, that is why I was trying to say that he's not in your bias line, because I think that, yeah, you were clout chase biasing.
That's ridiculous.
But like we kind of bias him for different reasons a little bit.
Okay.
But now I'm seeing your reasoning.
Thank you. Wow, that's cool. I feel like I really beat an allegation.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that is all that we have time for today. And, you know, I feel like this was a different concept. I feel like it was a little bit of a difficult concept for an episode. Yeah, like, I'm not a pushover or, like, easily gullible, but I have a hard time defending myself and I have a hard time arguing. Like, I can kind of be easily convinced if I think, like, you know, if the points are good enough, I'm like, oh, I'm open-minded. So, like, I can see the other side of things.
I feel like maybe you're a little bit not, like, non-confrontational. Yeah. Like, you'd be like, I'd rather just, like, agree to disagree. Like, I'd rather just be like, you know, you're not gonna convince me or I'm not gonna convince you, so like let's just not argue about it.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm more the type that would be like, let me tell you why you're wrong, which is the Noah vibe that is coming through.
Yeah, and also a lot of the topics were kind of ambiguous to try and beat the allegations for, so it made it more difficult. But it was still interesting to try to do. If you liked the episode, go ahead and like the video. And you can leave us a comment. Let us know if you think that we beat any of our allegations. And if you'd like to ever hear us do this concept again. And if you haven't subscribed to BlushCat, please go ahead and subscribe and turn on notifications, please. And thank you.
Yes, I thought that this was pretty fun overall. Like, I think hopefully it turned out well. So thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening. Remember, not too serious. Please try not to get mad at us. Maybe like don't take everything as like, oh, you didn't beat the allegations, so I know that that's true about you now. Like, no, like it was just for fun. And remember, it's important to stay meowing. This has been Fury X-Atron.
And me. Bye.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.